So I was born in 67. So I think an accumulative knowledge, and I really, I painted a lot, but I sold something when I was 18. I had seen this ad on a newspaper, and I wanted to paint folk art, so I took a little embroidery thing, and I was learning how to paint, and I tried to copy. It was a black lady that lived to be 102, and I made it like the white stripes, but I didn't know them. It was red, black, and white. It just seemed to work. And I took it down to a folk art store in Shockoe Bottom to see if they would represent my work. I was young. I was, 19? And I've been 20. And, I met Georgia, and it was just like her work was so strong and magical to me back then. It was very symbolic. And I guess I was bipolar, but not diagnosed. But I was like floating metaphysically around town. I floated. I mean, just such a strange world. And I just floated into this antique store on Broad Street, and they had an easel and a thing of paint, like old paint. Somebody must have died and left it. I just took it home and started playing with it. But to me, that was metaphysically correct. That was right for me and my soul and whatever energy I had. So I didn't go in the hospital for a couple years, but I don't remember exactly. But I think the symbolism that I studied a bunch of different artists and painters and things like that. It just fascinated me, and I would get into clay or Kandinsky. Of course, I studied Goya, the surrealists, and I really locked in and focused in Bruegel, and I simplified it. Number one, I can't paint like Bruegel. I don't even have the materials. I have no idea how he got what he got. I think their paint is different. It's just a different thing. I don't know that even today's paint made out of chemicals can do what that pigment did. Maybe, and I think maybe there's a chance you can get some pigment that's very expensive and make your own paints. But so I went with more the Paul Klee. I loved Kandinsky for years and read concerning spiritual art 2 or 3 times. And then I accomplished it. I did some paintings that were similar. But, color is symbolic. It depends on what country you're from. So I took that into account too. This is like worldwide symbolism that I was trying to do to make a cause for the Gestalt of getting people together on art. And I acknowledge all different cultures, all different art. I mean, I know, the African American art, they had an outdoor culture. They probably were outdoor a lot because they had some beautiful weather and desert and things like that. It'd be interesting to study more about Africa. I think we've got a ways to go. And hopefully we'll find some more remnants that tell us more of what they believed, and their spirit. They're very spiritual, and they're communal. They, I'll nurse. We'll sit around the fire, and I'll nurse your baby if you have to go off and take care of your other son or whatever. So, I think the beauty that we can learn, I guess, from their communities, some of them sold each other for slavery. I know that happened, and they had white slaves at one time. So I think we need to pull it into a human situation. And I do know, too, the more you're around black people, the more you like them. Like, if you grew up in a white neighborhood that's predominantly white, and you don't really know that many black people, but it's all changing and getting better, because all the universities have lots of mixed race people, and the young kids have no problem with it, so I think it's going to totally be out. It's just that this is the time. It's been a long time since slavery and segregation. It's time now that we go ahead and accept all people, really, and teach them what we can teach them and learn, and then also do mental health. Got to do mental health. If you don't have mental health, you don't have anything. Health is wealth. And when you have a clarity of mind, and I know people like that don't need so much money, but mentally they're healthy. And you won't find those people just panning around thinking that $1 million is going to make them happy, because they're living in the moment. They're living in the present and making their life good. And I know for me, I've strived for mental health for years and years and years, trying to get good mental health. And I finally think I've turned a page, and I hope it stays with a new medicine I'm trying from a new doctor. And so mental health is integral to the United States even becoming a power again, intellectual power. Because, you know, we can fix anything. We got Trump did crack me up. He's like, he was talking to North Korea guy Kim Jong Un, and he said something. Well, my button works, but no, there's no need for. We do need patrol and role models and people that can keep order and make sure people are getting along. But we also need educators. We need Peace Corps to go out there and help educate while the military is keeping people safe, just to make the world a better place. It's not going to be a utopia. I mean, and then once we do this, we'll get everything all perfect, and that meteor will come and knock us out of the atmosphere. And I personally, Branson, as much as I love you and you inspire me, I don't think we're even close to figuring out the metaphysical universe that we just don't understand. And I don't think any spaceship's going to take you anywhere near the ability to understand that if you can see it in your own backyard in a dandelion that you blow.